Maranatha, children of Israel. Start off giving blessings, honor, glory, and power. Be to him that sits upon the throne and to the Lamb, Yahushua HaMashiach. The title of this video is Mockery amongst the children of Israel in the day of vengeance. We'll start off talking about how these children of Israel, we was waking up and everything's going cool. Seems like on the surface for the most part. But we still have this little issue. We have mockery. We still have the serpent still playing his tricks, still up to his old doings. You think that he didn't have no system set up for us for when we was gonna wake up? You think that they didn't know that we was gonna wake up in the last days in this 400 years of captivity when the sentence is gonna be served around that time? They did know, and they have something set up. And it's still mockery amongst the children of Israel. Same way, we had a lot of defilement and messed up stuff going down with the Christian doctrine. Before we woke up, we had a lot of mockery, a lot of BS, a lot of perversion of the scriptures, a lot of perversion of the concepts, and a perversion of justice and judgment. And we still add another sin into another sin. Until the last sin that we added a new sin. Watch, we're going to bring it out right here. We're going to start at Isaiah chapter 28, verse 1. And it says, "Woe to the crown of pride, to the drunkards of Ephraim, whose glorious beauty is a fading flower, which are on the head of the fat valley, of them that are overcome with wine." What does that mean? Does anybody really know what that means? A lot of people, most people don't. It's real hard, dark parables to get when it gets down to these type of things. But we're going to get down to it. Let's start at the top, where he says, "Woe to the crown of pride." To the crown of pride. This is the whole reason why America is, quote unquote, the land of the proud, the home of the free, because this is supposed to be a Christian country. This country is supposed to have been founded off of, quote unquote, their founding fathers was supposed to have been Christians, trying to come over here as pilgrims to practice Christianity without oppression of the outside entities, we'll say. Well, this crown of pride church organization now is represented by all these pastors, these pimps, and these harlots sitting up on that pulpit. You see why we got to that, this crown of pride. And then to the drunkards of Ephraim. These are the drunkards of Ephraim. Our pastors, they are Ephraim in America for us. Because we go to Genesis chapter 41 and 52, we're going to find out what Ephraim actually means. The name Ephraim, it says, "And the name of the second called he Ephraim." This is the reason why, because the Most High has caused me to be fruitful in a land of my affliction. And that's exactly what's happening with us in America. The same way that our forefathers in Egypt, once they was in Egypt, things started getting hard, they started increasing. They increased more and more into greater numbers than actually the Egyptians. And that's where we at right now today. The children of Israel, even though they've been locking us up, getting rid of all the daddies, making almost our women asexual in the neighborhoods, that we still seem to have large families, even though our households ain't always full with 5 to 7 kids at a time like it used to be back in the 80s and the 90s. You see kids now, they like four kids to a household and under. But we still growing numbers. We still growing numbers even though they've been killing us systematically. We grow in numbers even though they've been locking us up systematically. became fruitful. We multiplied in the land of our affliction, in the house of this bondage in Egypt. So we're going to go back to 28:1. So he says, woe unto the crown of pride, or to the church system and the church pastors, the main source, the main gut of the country that you in. He said, and to the drunkards of Ephraim, and to all these folks that's been increased in their land of their affliction, the Israelites, commonly known as the Negroes. He says, reading on, he says, whose glorious beauty is as a fading flower. That glorious beauty, the beauty of that crown, which is that church organization, now is coming to a bottoming out. Attendance. These numbers has been declining at a drastic rate from the 1960s down to 2017. And then the attendance then went to more than half. They got less than half the attendance that they had before. And it's getting lower and lower. Because as you see right here, even with these couple of these white Christian authors, they over here, they ain't even recognizing it. This was a book that came out in 2017 called The Death of the Western Christianity. Because white folks is realizing it. It's getting more and more evident that the children of Israel is God's chosen people. And that right there is conflicting with white folks' belief in the Christianity doctrine. It's making it to where a lot of people's falling into Kabbalism. That's why you got people like Madonna promoting that Kabbalism stuff. You got people like Rihanna promoting that Kabbalism stuff, trying to make it a popular thing amongst the youth. And then we got the dude Johnny Depp promoting Kabbalism. Then we got the funny guy, Jim Carrey. Even though he's talking real morbid and crazy these days, if you go check him out, it's because he didn't find out that there is no salvation for him. He's talking about he got to the point where he's talking about nobody is real. There is no existence of anything. Everybody is just random atoms randomly doing. You just gotta check them out, man. These people are bottoming out in their faith. They losing their minds because this Christianity doctrine is blowing out. And the Israelites is the ones that's shooting it. And then it says right here on the right, it says why Christianity is dying. That's just that's another witness to what these people are, what white people are starting to realize over here. And it's actually, they ain't gonna tell you why, but it's actually the result of the children of Israel manifesting that we only is the people that has that access to call the Almighty our God. They don't. No one else don't. Just like he won't call nobody else his son but us. We're reading on. He said, let me start right. He said, woe to the crown of pride, to the drunkards of Ephraim, whose glorious beauty is as a fading flower, which are on the head of the fat valleys. Because you even got these pastors and pastor pork chops and pastor pig feet, or pastor plate, like the homie One out there saying pastor plate, pastor complexion plate. Well, you check it out right here. We've been having our pastors, us Israelites in America, been having our pastors signing up, dandy dancing and shuffle footing for all their leaders, all the head of this country. They always sitting around there rubbing up on master's feet, maintaining master's abode, juking and jiving and singing for them, making them feel good. They still doing the same thing today. He says, which are on the head of the fat valleys. America's that fat valley. Of them that are overcome with wine. Fat Valley is America. The other Fat Valley is would be South America, like in that Brazil area. And another Fat Valley would be Africa. But each and every one of them places right there, the dopest spots on the planet Earth. They got the best weather and the most resources and the best agricultural location. The white folks own it. But everywhere you go where the white folks is on, you will have pastor pork chops set up, paid, and distributed to the children of Israel. Sew up bullshit doctrine to them. Everywhere you see these people, you're going to see this type of scene. That's that clay with mixed with iron, that Daniel scene. But that's another one we're going to get to another day, with the Most High willing. Check it out. He said, which are on the head of the fat valleys. Here we go, another one. Martin Luther King wasn't no different. He's just as whack as these dudes. He's doing the exact same thing, man. Just sitting up in there and, oh, master. Yeah, yes, master. Oh, yeah, man. We gonna help you out. Yeah. We gonna help you. Like, man, get your ass out of here. Why? He said, which are on the head of the fat valleys of them that are broken. Or overcome. And look at these pastors right here. Look at the congregations they got going over here. The congregation on the left, these women is feeling like they got spirits inside of them. So this pastor is telling them they're gonna have to remove their clothes so he can cast the demons out of them. And they feeling like they have to remove their clothes so the pastor could cast the demons out of them. What kind of confusion is this? Then you got the ones right here on the right. These brothers over here, they fighting over the collection plate. One of these brothers was dipping in the collection plate. And all these dudes, he was a deacon. One of these brothers was a deacon. This deacon was dipping in the collection plate. So we got lasciviousness on the left, and you know what I mean, and perverted behavior, and then we got mammon, greed, and filthy lucre on the right. These are the two things that the New Testament was writing about. These are the two things that the apostles was trying to heal the children of Israel from. This is from lasciviousness and lucky if I'm messing up that word. That word is really hard for me. Lasciviousness and money, covetousness. And we still to this day, we are plagued with the exact same incident. We living in the same footsteps as the Israelites that Paul and all the other apostles had a right to send them letters to, man. Because our people was broken and overcome with wine. Now we're going to see what that wine talking about. What do they mean by wine? What's the scriptures say? Do we got a second witness on this wine, or do we got a witness on this wine? Let's go to Proverbs 2:20-1. We're going to drop that witness. He says, wine is a mockery. Strong drink is raging. And whosoever is deceived thereby is not wise. So wine is mockery. Is a mocker. So when you see Pastor Porkchop up there, instead of us giving him tips of the fruit of our land like we supposed to be, because if he was actually teaching that doctrine, we would be knowing that we need to get to our land, and all them other scriptures that would be inclining to the children of Israel getting that promise to being in their own land would be ringing the bell like, yeah, we need to separate. We need to get up out here. Like, basically, the movement would have been on if he would have just taught the people that the tips actually was the first fruits of the land. The chain reaction would have brought in the kingdom instantly. I'm trying to tell you. When you change that fruit into money that you're supposed to be giving the pastor, this is where we end up. We end up with people trying to buy their way into heaven. That's mockery. That's mockery. Come on now. Woolly hair, skins of burnt bronze, polished brass. This dude right here, that's the complete opposite. This guy looks like a plucked bird. He has a skin tone of a plucked chicken, and he has hair of a collie, of a dog. Ain't no woolly hair, ain't no skin of bronze. It's, like I said, man, raw bird. And that was a mocker. He said strong drink is raging. And what is this raging? Well, this raging, by the definition of the word raging, it means to murmur, to growl, to roar, to cry aloud. Just go down. To rage, to sound, to make noise. Ain't these to cry aloud? To sound? When they up in there in the churches, ain't they screaming and crying aloud? Got all the people on the side pretending like they got the Holy Spirit, even though they just possessed by a demon. Pastor standing up in there screaming it out when he trying to make his point strong, because he actually ain't got a strong message. So he tries to get you emotionally involved because he actually doesn't have nothing intellectually to get your attention. Making noise, got all the bells and the strings and the guitars and the drums in the background as he dancing, then clamorous. That's the whole way that they talk. When the pastor is preaching and talking to you, he's just being clamorous. He's just yelling and screaming and going up, going down. He's like an emotional roller coaster. He's laughing at one minute and he seems kind of angry at the next. It's basically disquieting. He's disquieted. The next one in red. Loud. To be moved. Be troubled. To be in an uproar. Just think about your last church experience as I'm reading these words. To growl. To roar. To murmur. Figuratively of a soul in prayer. To be in a stir, but watch this one right here. Be in commotion, to be boisterous, and be turbulent. Look at these dudes. Every one of their faces is describing the facial expression that you will have to be doing to display all these attributes right here. To be crying aloud, to be clamorous, your face will still be looking like that. To be moved, you be looking like that. To be in commotion, boisterous, and clamorous. So the scripture says wine is a mockery. Strong drink is boisterous, loud, commotionless. That whole like all that stuff that they do, especially the women one. Man, oh man, the women past the pork chops, they consistently scream. But these brothers do the same thing. Back at 28 and 1. So we see this overcome and broken with wine. He said that too. Behold, Yahweh has a mighty and strong one, which as a tempest of hell and a mighty storm, as a flood of mighty waters overflowing, shall cast down to the earth with the hand. Talking about the line of Judah, the children of Judah waking up. We're going to see with this overflowing of waters he's talking about. He says, right here in Sirach 47 and 14, this is where he be getting these overflowing of waters. That's why the scriptures were speaking in parables like this, because there were clues to why they spoke like this. This was all Hebrew language. This was all Hebrew slang. Check it out. He says, like as when he was well instructed, talking about Solomon, like as when he was well instructed in his youth and filled with wisdom and understanding, as it were a what? A water flood. A water flood is an overflowing water. And so we've been hit with the wisdom and the understanding, because we keep the commandments now. So you know what I'm saying? So we are, and so our knowledge is overflowing the land, and it's spreading abroad, spreading throughout America like a wildfire, like we say today. But in the Hebrew slang days, they would say a flood. They wouldn't say a fire. When we say things like spread like a wildfire, yeah, man, the doctrine spread like a wildfire. Well, they said the same thing, but they just said it's water. He said, this is what happens. Look, this is us right here. He says he covers and fills the whole land with similitudes and dark parables. We fill the whole land with similitudes and dark parables. We telling people who Esau is, who the Israelites is. We the ones that's able to bust open all the Old Testament, all the prophets, and actually know exactly what they're talking about. All the dark parables that the Messiah spoke. We know exactly what he was saying now. We know that he was referring to the Old Testament every time. Back at 28:2, he says, behold, Yahweh has a mighty and strong one, which as a tempest of hell in a destroying storm, as a flood of mighty overflowing waters, or wisdom and understanding that fills the land with dark parables. And this is what happens. This is the effect of that. What's the effect of it? The effect is they shall cast down to the earth with the hand. Cast who down? Esau's kingdom. To the earth with the hand. The hand of who? The Most High. Most High's right hand. At 3, he says the crown of pride. The church system, especially the black ones. That's the main ones, because the white people, that ain't nothing but just some sideline stuff. The main focus, that main crown, that secret jewel that nobody knows about, is white people holding on to the importance of black pastors. Yeah, I said it. He said to the crown of pride. And then we got our drunkards of Ephraim. These people that is just straight completely brainwashed from this mockery of white Jesus and paying tithes and tithes to get to heaven. And what's going to happen to these folks? They're going to be trodden under feet. And the glorious beauty, which is on the head of the fat valley, shall be a fading flower. This glorious beauty, all these church people, all these fake pastors, they no longer are able to deceive the lump of the children of Israel no more. We taking the kingdom back. And they can't stop it, because the Most High is the one that's doing it. He's doing it through us. And he says, can't pluck what he's playing out of his hand. And this right here is no longer going to be the system of our destruction. It is a fading flower. Less and less young brothers, Israelites, is falling for that and getting into the right, into the awakening through the Israelites. And ain't never going to return into that. So it's turning into a fading flower. This glorious beauty of them. You know? End game for you. Which is on the head of the fat valleys. So right here, just one more I'm gonna touch right there on this head of the fat valley. Is this right here is a satanic pyramid. And at the top of the satanic pyramid, right under Lucifer's eye, right there himself, is the Pope. That is what makes the system work. That is the crown of a demonic system. The crown of the demonic system would have a priest at the top of it. That it will be coming through with something that is not of the Bible. And the same thing that goes with the Hindu people. The Hindu people, they had the same system set up. This is the people that worship all kinds of strange gods. But still with them, they have pastors, priests set up at the top of their demonic structure. Ain't nothing different here in America, you feel me? He said, but that system is a fading flower. Like I said, a lot of other people's dropping up out of that. A lot of our people and they people, we getting up out of this. I got 4. He said, and as a hasty fruit before the summer, which when he looks upon it, which when he that looks upon it sees, while it's yet in his hand, he eats it up. Every time they come through with a so-called debunking the Hebrew doctrine, or trying to combat us or debate us, we eat them up. We take the opportunity. We don't run at all. We ain't like them. We ain't like they little Mormons that come knocking on your door. But then when you bust out a Bible, they take off. We go over there and we smash up that doctrine. We blast them with that truth. We eat up that doctrine and then spit them out. Send them mugs home, broken and destroyed. And we do it every time with urgency and with zeal. That's why it means as a hasty fruit before the summer. When he that looks upon it sees, while it's yet in his hand, he eats it up. Yea, that's us. He said, in that day shall the Most High Yahweh of hosts be for a crown of glory and for a diadem of beauty. So our people is going to be at the top. The Most High is going to be the priest. Yahushua going to be that priest at the top of ours, like we got it right now. We don't have no white man looking like a demon with a fish hat and a graven image sitting next to him, having everybody kissing his hand. Some old rotten, raw flesh eating white man, Edomite, leading our people. Now we got the Most High leading us. We only let the Most High do it, and it's for a diadem of beauty. We represent. We putting on them that Mitri. We putting on them garments. We got on our borders of blue. We wearing the all white, and we doing it all for the Most High, and it look dope, and they know it. These people, they know it. I mean, we don't look like them punk pastors with the penis phallus on their neck, calling it a tie. He said he gonna be a crown of glory and for a diadem of beauty unto the residue of his people, not to everybody, unto the residue of his people. Because at the time when we waking up, and at the time when this is in effect, that's what's left. That's all we are now. We are the residue of his people. We are what's left of the children of Israel. All we up until now, he's been purged out all the type of folks that he didn't want. Now, the ones that stand here today to hear these words, you blessed. Because you are the residue of his people. He says, so Salakia, he says, so in that day shall Yahweh of hosts be for a crown of glory and for a diadem of beauty unto the residue of his people, and for a spirit of judgment. And this is what we waiting for right here. This This is what America's gonna end up looking like. That's gonna be our relief. And to him that sits in judgment, and for a spirit of judgment to him that sits in judgment, and for strength to them that turn the battle to the gate. In other words, the word gate can be understood and interpreted today as hood. That turns the battle into the hood. That spiritual battle. Reversing that division that the children of Israel have, that evil eye that we have towards our brothers. Giving our people that Ruach HaKodesh so they can have that heart of flesh. Getting out that stony heart for their people and show love. Yeah, 7. He said, but they also have errors. Yeah, our brothers have. Who was they that he talking about? These brothers. The brothers that got this strength for them to turn the battle. The Most High, he is working through the camps. I'm not saying that 12 tribe chart is true, but we got a lot of brothers that is waking up through it. You know what I mean? So we got to pick through the bones. At the end of the day, we won't boast against them because they help. But at the same time, the Most High letting you know. Right here, he's like, yeah, these same dudes that got this strength and got this deity and the beauty and this crown of glory, that some of them, they also err through mockery. That mockery is that idol worship still up in it. You see how they still got the quote unquote Star of David, which is actually the Star of Molech. Because the only time they say, well, it's not because this, it's a lily and it's not. Stop with the foolishness. It's not a lily. It's not even trying to look like a lily. You better stop playing with people. You talking as if you talking to simple-minded people. That's not cool. It lets me know like you preying on simple minds because that's not a lily. Only thing that could be is what the Bible keeps reiterating in the scriptures: the Star of Moloch. Or the Star of Renfrem, it's the same thing. Star of Renfrem and Star of Molech, it's the same thing. Our children of Israel has been hit with this stumbling block over and over. This ain't the first time. This ain't the first time around that we've been hit with this. Most High was warning about us in the Old and the New in the Old and the New Testament, man. And then we got this 12 tribe chart with all these Native Americans and mostly Mexicans and Cubans and Puerto Ricans. These are all Mexican people, Argentinians and Chileans and Colombians. I can't believe you got Guatemalans. I'm like, have you seen a Guatemalan? That is not a Negro at all. That is the smallest, squattish. He's short and squat with a fat head with Chinese face. You tripping. He said they have error through wine and through strong drink. And these brothers, they be out there roaring. They be out there screaming. They be out there being disquieted. All right? Through strong drink, they are out of the way. Because a lot of brothers is able to get a lot of people wrapped up in that, especially when you're telling them that you can go have sex with these Mexican girls. And that's the biggest problem with our brothers today. All our brothers is leaving the sisters to go with the Mexican girls. They be dancing with them at the club. They be holding hands with them in the grocery markets while they be kind of bossing the black women around when they did have them. You see them here. You see. I seen some over there at the In-N-Out parking lot. I was driving through there. Seen some of them at the In-N-Out parking lot. I thought it was some Mexicans hugged up with these Mexican girls. By the way, they were just like walking as they were hugging. Like I only seen that from Mexicans. But lo and behold, our brothers was doing that. I was like, they ain't never did that with no sisters. I ain't never seen no brothers and sisters walk like that, man. So we got a lot of brothers that's falling into that false doctrine of the Mexicans and other nationalities being Israelites, because that is right there. They're feeding off their lust. that doctrine right there still keeps them sinning. It doesn't make it to where they have to fully repent. The spirit inside of them, that spirit of sin inside of them, still celebrates. You feel me? At 7, he said, reading on, he says, the priest and the prophet have erred through strong drink. Like we just covered. They are swallowed up of wine. They are out of the way through strong drink. They err in vision. Got the Mexicans calling themselves Issachar, setting up other nationalities over the children of Israel. Violation of the scriptures. He's like, and they stumbled in judgment, not realizing, just thinking, oh, white man, they what they did with the Native Americans. Man, shut up. Look what the Native Americans was doing. These people, you can't find hieroglyphics and stuff like this with any other nation. You're gonna go try to look at the Chinese, and you're gonna see them you're gonna see some things that, you know what I mean, you're gonna know. You're like, all right, they heathens too. They heathens. You're gonna see that with every other nation. But when you get here, you're like, what is this? This gotta be, this is fake. You wouldn't believe that this is real. You're like, these people this is what they were recording? Horror scenes? Man, these people had to be judged. Scripture says, if anybody be doing stuff like this, worshiping false gods on hills, that we gotta destroy them people. But it's just that while they were doing this, the children of Israel was dropping the ball on their position as the punishment stick of the Most High. So the Most High had to use that wicked punishment. He had to use that sword. That sword called Esau. Esau had to come over and do what the Israelites were supposed to have done already. He was supposed to have came through and dealt with these savage folks. And I ain't even gonna cover the other stuff that they did, because I looked up on some I did me some more research up on their artifacts, and come to find out these Native Americans were straight out raging, flamboyant homosexuals, man. They were worse than anybody in Egypt. We talk about how Egypt was getting down homosexual, and they had some homosexuals that when they showing grown men playing with penises. These dudes, they got it. They got. I can't even show y'all, man. But it's just a gang of butt sex, man. Yeah, I said it, butt sex. So our priests and our prophets right here, that be erring in vision, that swallowed up with wine, they stumble in judgment. They don't know how to decide or decipher what actually happened and what part took actually under the Most High, according to the Most High's will with these Mexicans and these Native Americans. And so what happens out of that? What is the result? The result is all tables are full of vomit. Yeah, all tables are full of vomit and filthiness, and there is no place clean. What's that vomit? Proverbs 26:11 let you know what that vomit is. It says, as a dog returns to his vomit, so is a fool return to his folly, or to his BS. And here he is with this brother, looking just like Wesley Snipes. We got a bona fide Illuminati strange dude, puppet, working for Master right here, looking like a negative role model to purity, to black purity, to Israelite purity. And then we got this brother on the left. He's supposed to be an Israelite, showing the exact same negative example as Wesley Snipes. Unproductive for the black movement, unproductive for the pure seed. And we got the main dudes now that's pushing quote unquote the truth, sitting there with a Chinese woman on his arm. That's a shame, man. That's why I mean, we went back to his vomit. He's supposed to call himself getting into the law, statutes, and commandments, honoring and fearing the Most High with all his mind, heart, and soul. And then you get taught by him that Mexicans is Israelites. You just now violated the covenant as soon as you got in it. And he says, and there's no place clean. Filthiness. Why does he say filthiness? Filthiness is like a spot or a blemish. Like right here in Leviticus 22 and 24, he says, you shall not offer unto Yahweh that which is bruised or crushed or broken or cut, neither shall you make any offering thereof in your land. Neither from a stranger's hand shall you offer the bread of your power of any of these, because their corruption is in them. So all their bruises and their crushedness and their brokenness and their cuts, their marks and their blemishes, in other words, are inside of them. So they can't be cleansed. You can't just consider them clean. You can't just bring them into the sanctuary. You can't just put them in the priesthood. There's filthiness that comes from the inside of them. The Most High said that. It ain't my words. The Most High made this way. He says, because their corruption is in them, and blemishes being in them, they shall not be accepted for it. So there we go now. Now you're looking at this blemish. You're looking at this dude offering bread to the dogs, and which is not meat. And I ain't talking about M-E-A-T. I'm talking about M-E-E-T, or necessary or appropriate. It's not appropriate to cast the children's bread unto the dogs. And it's not appropriate to be having graven images, rocking stars of Moloch, teaching our people to worship 666, 6 pentagrams, 6 side octagon, a hexagon, 6 triangles, 6 points. Just something to think about. Isaiah 28:9. He says, whom shall he teach knowledge? And whom shall he make to understand doctrine? Them that are weaned from milk and drawn from the breast. You won't be able to teach none of us. You try to teach a brother like me that the children of Israel is a Mexican dude. I'm gonna tell you straight out, no, he's not. He's Chinese, and I'll be able to show you instantly all kinds of stuff. I already got the law, statutes, and commandments. I do the law, statutes, and commandments, so I got to understand it. So when he said, whom shall he teach knowledge? And whom shall he make to understand doctrine? Who is this whom? These dudes. It's a lot. The priest and the prophet. He said, what real Israelite? He's saying, right, what real Israelite would he be able to teach? And them that are drawn among, he said, them that are drawn from the breast. For precept must be upon precept, line upon line, here a little and there a little, because you got to be talking to a simple-minded person. That's how they got to get down. And he says, for stammering lips and in another tongue will he speak to this people. The Messiah, because with the stammering lips and another tongue, he had to speak to these people the same way, because they were weaned from the milk and drawn from the breast in his time. We had a lot of scribes and Pharisees that thought they knew the scriptures, and they were converted at the same time. So with stammering lips, Greek, and another tongue, Latin, he spoke to these people. These same dudes, to whom he said, this is the rest wherewith you may cause the weary to rest. The weary to rest. Not people that already have a military, not people that already got land, not people that already live on reservations. We're talking to people that ain't had no rest, that's been sitting around here, walking around on places that is not theirs. People that has not settled in their own home. He said, but still, he's like, and this is the refreshing. Yet, they would not hear. Talking about the same priest and the prophet. These niggas is resurrected. But he said, but the word of Yahweh was unto them, to those priests and prophets, that's the Aaron in the vision, was unto them precept upon precept upon precept, line upon line, line upon line, here a little and there a little. And why he do that? That they might go and fall backwards and be broken and snared. So that's not a way that you're supposed to teach people. That's the way that you teach people that you're either trying to deceive, or that's people that you're teaching that when you that the Most High will teach when He actually wants to keep you in punishment. You feel me? He said that they might go and fall backward, be broken, and snared, and ultimately taken. In other words, murdered in America. He says, wherefore, hear the word of Yahweh, you scornful men that rule this people. That rule this people in America, which is in Jerusalem, the same people that's here in America, the same people that's in the actual real Jerusalem, not those white folks. Where the white folks is at, that ain't the real Jerusalem. Those white folks don't rule over black folks like that at a mass number. Over here, they're ruling over millions. White folks are ruling over millions of black people in America and in real Jerusalem, which is South Africa. He said, because you have said, we have made a covenant with death. That covenant with death is that church. What did they do it through? They did it through the British Army. That was in South Africa. And over here in America, our pastors do it through the American Army. This is how they make the tie to the to the Catholicism church entity. They do it through these two parties. The British party in Africa and the British party, which is the Americans in America. Talk about death, because the law, statutes, and commandments, we mean covenant with death. Talking about the law, statutes, and commandments, that's a covenant with life. Those covenants right there are supposed to give you life. He says He prolongs the days of your life with the law, statutes, and commandments. Well, if somebody's teaching you another covenant from the Most High, quote unquote, they say this is a covenant from the Most High, but this is without the law, statutes, and commandments. We know, and knowing as you go and read, you know that that's not true. The law, statutes, and commandments remain forever. This dude has just now made you sign a deal to die. That's what it means by because you have said we have made a covenant with death. Talking about our pastors. And with hell are we at agreement. We be in our hellish condition, even though the children of Israel is living in hell right now. We living in our living hell, or living in our state of punishment. We got our pastors or our house Negroes right here down on the left, right? Bottom left, living a little bit better. So they think. So most think. Fast forward to today, looking over there at the right, that's Chicago. But it ain't no different. Ain't no different in the same city I live in. Ain't no, it looks the exact same. Looks just like that everywhere black people are populated at. And everywhere you go and you see, you still got that same house nigga-ish stuff going down, which is now 501c3. Anybody that got 501c3, you best believe that's a Negro that signed up. He done made that what? Covenant with death. And now he got a certain better condition in hell, or an agreement in hell. And with hell, are we at agreement? Because the main reason why nobody realizes that Africa is actually the Holy Land is because our pastors is teaching through a demonic doctrine that the Holy Land is right up there. And then when you go look up over there, it's nothing but just a bunch of white people and mixed people, like Arabs and Moroccans, Hindus, all kinds of just crazy stuff. And it has no archaeological findings to support any of the things in the Bible. We have nothing in there, no artifacts to find out, or no geographic locations that matches up with the Bible in that land that they shown us as the Middle East, because it's not actually the place. That's why people say, "Oh, where's Wuthie Whoop's gravesite? Where's Wuthie Whoop's temple? Or where's his sepulchre?" And you'd be like, "Damn, man, we don't even live over there." That's all I was able to say. You know what I'm saying? When I thought that the Northeast was the Holy Land. But then when you find out that it's actually like mostly Africa, then you be like, "Oh, no wonder why nobody has any proof of the findings of anything in the Bible when it comes down to like people's grave sites and stuff before." So they completely switched the whole place. They went. That's why that the Baphomet sign is as above, so below. They were talking about something. What were they talking about? They say it was heaven and hell. No, it was the Holy Land they were talking about, man. As above, so below. Talking about mapping out all the geographic locations. As they doing above, they had to do that from so below. You feel me? He says, when the overflowing scourge shall pass through, we reading on. When the overflowing scourge, that's us, the children of Israel, preaching all that, preaching the truth and the wisdom and understanding, filling the world with that overflowing waters of truth doctrine. He says, when the overflowing scourge shall pass through, it shall not come unto us. This is what they say. For we have made lies our refuge. Talk about money. Talk about you. This is tips hanging, that thrown down in that collection plate. And this is another lie. If you do that, you're gonna end up in heaven. By them doing those two things, they made it to where they get rich. And now they lean off their own riches. They lean off their own understanding. And they don't believe that anything's going to happen to them, because everything is doing just fine. And they got all kinds of money lined up for all kinds of problems that they can think of ahead that they might encounter. And they be thinking like, "Oh, no, we good. We have made lies our refuge." And under falsehood, helping people believe that those people are God's chosen people. Is that under falsehood have we hid ourselves? Because why we still thinking that those are, why God's people are still thinking that those white people is God's chosen people, they're not going to realize that our pastors are liars, pimps, drunkards, set up to destroy us. So he says at 16, he says, therefore, thus says Yahweh Allah, behold, I lay in Zion a foundation, a stone, a tried stone, a precious cornerstone. So Most High saying, he said, for that reason, so since the reason why we got nothing but pimps, pastors, pastor pork chops in the secular Bible community, and then when you get into the quote unquote the truth community, we still got a large lump of people being sold up with a false doctrine of the One West 12 tribe chart thing. Most High's like, man, he's like, for that reason, he's like, man, I'm gonna set in Zion for a foundation, a stone, a tried stone, a precious cornerstone, a sure foundation. How you gonna know how to be sure? A sure foundation is by knowing that, hey, I'm just gonna sit there and simply say, God's chosen people is black. We all can agree on that one. Like, yes, is Judah black? Nobody, no matter what, they always say yes. I'm gonna leave it at that. And everybody that knows and has enough common sense and understanding to do that, that's that Zion. That's that foundation of stone. That's that precious cornerstone that's been laid inside of you. He says, he that believes shall not make haste. Judgment also will I lay to the line, and righteousness to the plummet, and the hell. So first he's gonna have us. He's gonna have a real set of Israelites wake up and preach against the 12 tribe doctrine, not actually attacking the brothers, but just coming out with the truth so our people can actually have the truth to fall into. A sure foundation, a guarantee movement. That's how he's going to address the Israelites' mockeries. But then he says, right here at 17, but then he says, judgment also will I lay to the line. That means I'm gonna give out judgment to those that have it coming. Whoever's turn it is, he said he's gonna do that too. He said, and righteousness to the plummet. Righteousness is still the same thing as judgment. But this one's gonna be to who it is, and whoever gets done to is gonna be to their destruction. They're gonna be plummeted. He said, and the hell shall sweep away the refuge of lies, and the waters shall overflow the hiding place. Talk about America. He said, and your covenant with death shall be disannulled. Talking about over there in Africa also. When he says right here, he said, and the hell shall sweep away the refuge of lies, and the water shall overflow the hiding place or the hidden place. Right here, the wisdom of the children of Israel waking up has sprung over to South Africa also. They know that we the children of Israel. And this is what they put up there earlier this year. He said, honeymoon is over for white people in South Africa. Why he say that? Why they saying that? Because they kicked out white people out of South Africa. They done took over the land. Not every tiny piece of it. You still got some farmers out there, but the cities is taken over. Black people run all those big skyscrapers out there in South Africa. They don't tell us about that. Go check it out. Do your research. I was thinking about making another video and saying Most High willing. But just for now, I'm gonna touch on it. These people kicking white people out of Africa. Their honeymoon period is over. Their covenant with death shall be disannulled. We ain't no longer messing with the white folk no more. In every way, shape, or form, because that's what it all boils down to. As soon as you realize that you ain't dealing with white folks no more, all the truth comes. You're like, I ain't dealing with white folks. Let's read the Bible, and the truth is there. You're like, oh yeah, it's obvious. We ain't supposed to be dealing with these folks. We ain't supposed to be dealing with no folks, no Chinese folks, no Mexican folks, nobody. I'm not saying that there's a couple of exceptions that you might, hey man, I know this dude all my life, or whatever, man, we'll figure something out. But at the end of the day, the children of Israel, they're black. Knowing that makes it to where you don't fall into pass a pork chop no more, man. He ain't telling the truth. He says, and your agreement with hell shall not stand. Thinking that they're gonna be riding high on the hill, being rich, by pretending like they, you know what I'm saying, they got the truth, and they get rich by doing that, passing out the collection plate, talking about our pastors, and then you got the fake Jews, they getting rich. Because our pastors, whether they know it or not, they are in the cahoots with the fake Jews. To keep them looking like they the real Jews, and to keep us thinking that we the Gentiles. That's what they serve. They're standing there acting like a straight smoke screen, keeping us completely deceived, going off as decoys. He said, and your agreement with hell, reading on, shall not stand. When the overflowing scourge shall pass through, then you shall be trodden down by it. The same thing that's happening over here. Same thing that's happening over there in Africa. They being trodden down by it. The Most High is sweeping out that way, sweeping the way out for these people, getting these people out of our way. We got brothers killing them out there. Them farmers that don't want to give up their land. Got brothers going up in there just straight murdering them. The ones that had to leave their homes in the city and didn't own no farmland and stuff. Look at them now, right there on the left. They poured all hell. As it says, when the overflowing scourge shall pass through, then you shall be trodden down by it. The white folks over there and our pastors. That from the time that it goes forth, it shall take you. For morning by morning shall it pass over, by day and night. And it shall be a vexation only to understand the reform. Because the bed is shorter than that a man can stretch himself on it, and the covering narrower than that he can wrap himself in it. Talking about them lies that these people have got soaked up. They lies ain't solid enough to keep these people hidden. They can't lie enough lies to maintain that lie that they the children of Israel and that we just the Gentiles, and that you can just keep sinning, and that there is no laws, and that there is no commandments. That bed and that covering that they got ain't big enough for them to stretch out self on. And it ain't the covering is too narrow for themselves to cover it. He said, because the Most High has an intention. This is what he intends to do. The Most High always had this intention to rise up as in Mount Perazim. He wanted to rise up as he did in Mount Perazim or in Baal Perazim. What did he do in Baal Perazim? Let's get that right there. Go to 1 Chronicles chapter 14 and verse 10. He says, and David inquired of the Most High, saying, shall I go up against the Philistines? And wilt thou deliver them into my hand? And Yahweh said unto him, go up, for I will deliver them into your hand. At 11, he says, so they came up to Baal or Mount Perazim, and David smote them there. Then David said, the Most High has divided my enemies by my hand, like the breaking forth or dividing of waters. Therefore they called the name of that place Baal Perazim or Mount Perazim. And when they had left their gods there, David gave a commandment that they were burned with fire. And let's same thing that's what's going to happen in here. The Most High said he has an intent. His intent to be tripping like he was in when he tripped in Baal Perazim. Reading on, he says, and he shall be wroth as in the valley of Gibeon, that he may do his work or device, his strange work or his strange device, and bring to pass his act, his strange act. So over there in Mount Perazim, Most High, he said he wants his wisdom to come out. He wants to trip on South Africa. He wants to trip on the pastors and pretty much debunk all their doctrine, so he can actually have the children of Israel destroy all these people with their bare hands, and then burn the place that they tripping on their enemies at with fire. And then he says right here that he wants to trip like he did in the valley of Gibeon. We go to Joshua 10:7. We see what he did in the valley of Gibeon. He says, so Joshua ascended from Gilgal, he and all the people of war with him, and all the mighty men of valor, that be the Israelites today. And Yahweh be the Israelites and the angels of heaven today. And Yahweh said unto Joshua, Yahushai, fear them not, for I have delivered them into thy hand. There shall not a man of them stand before you. That's that dividing the people like waters again. And he said, Joshua therefore came unto them suddenly, and went up from Gilgal all night. And Yahweh discomforted them before Israel, and slew them with a great slaughter at Gibeon, and chased them along the way that goes up to Beth Horon, and smote them at Azekah. That's the place of broken up. That's what Azekah means. Or when it says in the scriptures, they have parted my land. That's what we're talking about right here. That's a land that's been parted. You go look at Eastern, a place they call Middle East. The place hasn't been parted up. You go look at Africa, that place has been parted. All parted up. He said, so he smoked them at the place of broken up, and unto Makeda, the place of shepherds. That's right here, because we the children of Israel. The shepherd comes from the tribe of Judah. We the tribe of Judah. So he wants war from all the way from South Africa to over here. That's how this place is going to end. By the children of Israel killing these people with their bare hands and dividing them like they were. That means with some type of super strength. He said, and it came to pass. We had 11. He said, and it came to pass that they fled from before Israel, and were in the going down to Beth Horon, that Yahweh cast down great stones from heaven upon them unto Azekah, and they died. It's like it. They were more which died with hailstones than they whom the children of Israel slew with the sword. So these hailstones started in Makeda, and it went all the way. It went all the way to Azekah. And check this out. He says, and they were more which died with the hailstone than they whom the children of Israel slew with the sword. And then so we go back to Isaiah 28. He says, now therefore be you not mockers. That's a lock. I'm gonna touch on this real quick. Let me touch on this. This hailstone that came down. He's talking about this. There's a caldera that's in America. If you guys don't know about it, there's something that's called a super volcano. It's like I think it's like supposed to be like the force and the magnitude of like 10,000 Mount St. Helens explosions, or the equivalent to, I think it was like 7,000 or something like that, like some outrageous number of nuclear bombs going on. It's supposed to be that strong. It's a super volcano in a place they call Yellowstone National Park. Yellowstone National Park ain't nothing but just a hole of a volcano. And it's been active the whole time we've been here. These people has been literally, they have built them a paradise on a burning rock. They didn't even know it. Just like in Pompeii, they built them the capital city in Pompeii, which was literally at the foothill of an active volcano. The same way that these people went out before the Renaissance, and with the fall of the Roman Empire the first time, which was their principal city of Pompeii being destroyed with hailstones and fire that rained from the heavens. Most High said He's gonna do the same thing in the last days when He ends the mockers, with the children of Israel waking up with this sure foundation, this solid doctrine that nobody can break. Read and know that Isaiah 28 and 22. He says, now therefore, he said, for now, for that reason that He just said He's going to destroy everybody. He's going to have everybody killed with the bare hands of the children of Israel. And then the remainder of these people, He's going to have them burnt up with hailstones. He said, for that reason now, be you not mockers. He said, man, don't be up over there pushing them stars. Don't be over there talking to people that is not your nationality, telling them all your secrets and all your doctrines, and telling them that they children of Israel, giving them power to feel like they got it like that. He said that these people are supposed to be confounded and ashamed, and that we are supposed to be a world without end. Well, let's let these people be confounded and ashamed. Let them feel dissed. Let them. The Most High wants that. You think our people didn't feel dissed when they were getting hung on the trees, getting raped, getting their babies snatched off? They felt dissed, while everybody else was parlaying. So F all that, man. These people, they need to get dissed now. Shut it all down. No, you ain't children of Israel. Hell yeah, you going into slavery. You better believe that. I don't care that you live next door to me, Mexican. I don't care. I don't care if you was with me all day, every day. You're still going into slavery. According to the Most High. Yahoo, Basham, Yahoo Shai, Barakatah. All praises to the Most High for that. You feel me? He says, so be you not mockers. Why? Lest your bands be made strong, or your captivity increase. Because shit's going to get worse for you. Your curse ain't going to get better. Just like it's been happening. As soon as the children of Israel start putting on them outfits and preaching a false doctrine, white folks feel like it's white folks that been given the go to kill niggas. Donald Trump, president's been feeling like it's just okay to just say racist stuff and to promote anti-blackness like it's nothing. We got people tripping. We got people trying to say like, man, it seems like it's worse than what it was back before the civil rights movement. I'm like, that's because there's some mockery going on amongst the children of Israel, man. And when the people pick up the covenant, you actually legitimately and realistically pick up the covenant, and then you say, oh yeah, I'm down with the Most High to the fullest, and you add sin onto your other life of sin, because before you was already sinning already in all kinds of other ways. You was breaking all the 10 commandments, but now there was commandments that you wasn't even able to break before you woke up and before you got to the commandment, which is teaching other nationalities that they're the children of Israel. Teaching other nationalities that you can actually legitimately have sex with another race and please the Most High by doing it. You just now added a sin that on top of all kinds of sins that you never sinned before. You was better off not knowing the truth than for you to go back into your vomit, because now you just added an extra sin to yourself like an idiot, you big dummy. He says, lest your bands be made strong. Salaki, I don't think that you're a big dumb. I just feel like you've just been deceived. Salaki, I'm not that type of dude. It's just a slip up. Salakia. But he says, now therefore be you not mockers, lest your bands be made strong. For I have heard from Yahweh, Allah I am of hosts, a consumption or a sudden destruction, even determined upon the whole earth. So what's going to happen here on this planet with that caldera is liable to affect the whole planet. They said that if that if that caldera goes off, it's going to actually send off a chain reaction, causing dormant volcanoes to go off and non-dormant volcanoes to go off. It said it'll cause other calderas to bust. We got a caldera in California, we got a caldera in New Mexico, we got a caldera in Arizona, and we got a caldera in Wyoming. All 4 or 5 of them things busting back to back. They said it'll destroy the planet like 2 to 3 times over. I mean, the planet could be 2 to 3 times bigger. It'll still destroy the whole planet.
So special.
You hear that? He said, even determined upon the whole earth. We at 23. He says, so give you ear and hear my voice. Not some dude named Abba Bibbins. Not some guys from some book that's not the Bible, written by people that are not Israelites. You don't read from that type of stuff. If you can't prove what you're saying through the scriptures, that's you despising the wholesome doctrine. If you can't, and if you despise the wholesome doctrine, man, you whack. You're an agent of Satan, whether you know it or not. You messing our people up. I know that your heart and your intent might be well, but since you haven't literally hearkened diligently unto the voice of the Most High, you kind of have fault, no matter what. So he says, hear my voice, hearken, and hear my speech. Does the plowman plow all day? You think the Most High going to keep on just letting people think that it's all good, that they can just keep on sinning? And do you think that the Most High going to just keep on having us children of Israel standing out there waking up the people, going out honoring the Sabbath, doing everything that we can? And you think He'll have us just doing that forever? The answer to that is no. Reading on, does He open and break the clods of His ground? Or that's what He's saying, like, does He not open and break in the clods of His ground? Yes, that's what the plowman does. He's actually working for a purpose. He'll plow, but then right after that, he starts putting into action. Starts doing more things that's working towards the sowing. He doesn't just make the rows with the plow. He smooths everything out, get everything fine, works out all the small bugs and all the crooks and crannies. Then he says, when He has made plain the face thereof, does He not cast abroad the fitches and scatter the coming? Toss those around. Toss those. Then he says, and cast in the principal wheat, and the appointed barley, and the rye in their place, because they get treated special. You cast the fitches and the cumin because they are of little worth. That's only condiments. You make condiments with those things, so they don't have large value. But the principal wheat, the barley, and the rye, those are the 3 grains that you use to make bread. You feel me? So he does not cast abroad or send into slavery. Does He not send into slavery the unimportant folks? And doesn't He set into the kingdom the children of Israel, the priests, the princes, and the common people of Israel? He says, for He said, because his power, talking about the Most High, does instruct him to discretion and does teach him. So it instructs him little by little, piece by piece, but for a specific purpose. And he does teach him. You get taught so you can do, so you can actually put into action.
Special.
That's the intent, to be taught. And this is what he says, is because the fitches are not threshed with the threshing instrument, neither is a cartwheel turned about the coming. So these things are not delicately worked with and put through a actual process to actually get these things to go through to get some special effect out of it. That's what he's saying. Basically, in other words, he's saying these other nationalities, he doesn't punish them. And he doesn't sit there and teach and plead with them to try to make them learn a lesson. That's not what he does to them. That's why he says, because does the fitches, he's like, because the fitches are not threshed with a threshing instrument, neither is a cartwheel turned about with the coming. So you don't really do too much processing work with unimportant seeds. This is what you do with them. But the fitches are beaten out with the staff, and the coming with a rod. You treat those seeds rough because they are little words, and what all you doing, you just kind of smash them to make them into a small condiment. They literally do serve just a small purpose. He said, bread corn is bruised or punished, because he will not forever be threshing it. He's punishing it because he's not going to forever be tripping on it. The Most High, he's only punishing us because he has intent to stop. That's the reason why he's doing it. He's like, I'm only tripping on these dudes because I intend to not do it one day. Nor break it with the will of his cart. He ain't going to sit there and make it to where we don't know who we are. With this new system that we up under, this demonic system. He ain't gonna have us he ain't gonna have us just sitting out here learning the Most High, practicing how to be in the kingdom, to sit here and get destroyed with the rest of the country and the rest of these people and the rest of the heathens. No. He says, nor bruise it with his horsemen. Talk about the 4 horsemen of the Revelation, 4 plagues. He ain't going to kill us with the famine. He ain't going to kill us with the sword, with the pestilence, with the armies, with death, with destruction. He didn't wake us up so we can die again. He didn't wake us up so we can go through the book of Eli scenarios. He didn't wake us up so we can backpack through the wilderness, starving and fighting and scrounging for our lives in mayhem. This was our whooping now. He did that before. All this slavery, all this mistreatment, all this oppression is because when things are supposed to be going down for the other people, we are supposed to be in the good. Why? He said, because this also comes forth from the Most High of armies, which is wonderful in counsel. That's that part where we're at right now. But what happens after that counsel? And excellent in his working, or his strange acts, which is that device. And that device is that caldera. That caldera is that super volcano in Wyoming that's going to set a chain reaction, an explosion. Even if it doesn't set a chain reaction explosion, they said that itself is enough to kill the world over 3 times. And darken the sky and put it into a nuclear winter for an undetermined amount of time. Because they don't know how long it's going to stay smoking. According to the Revelation, it's going to stay smoking forever. You feel me? So we didn't cover it. We know how this place is supposed to be destroyed. But the Most High, He got to scatter some of them coming that's over there in Africa. He's trotting them down under the feet. We're already at that part where he's kicking them out of the actual Holy Land. That's actually happening now today. All praise to the Most High. Hallelujah, oh, hallelujah, oh, hallelujah, oh. And then we already this overflowing flood is over here, washing out that BS doctrine of that mockery. We just now hit that 400-year mark. About a week ago, almost a week ago. What's next now on the list is for us to get a little bit more teaching right now of this truth, and wait for that Caldera to crack. You feel me? All praise to the Most High. And we're going to finish it off with Daniel 12 and 8. Let's get there real quick. Daniel. He said, then I said, O my Lord, or O Yahweh, what shall happen after that? He answered, go thy way, but these words shall be closed up and sealed till the last days, and many shall be purified, cleansed, and tried. But the ungodly shall live wickedly, and those wicked, as many as them as they be, shall have no understanding. For as such as have understanding, they shall regard it. To have understanding, you get the understanding by keeping the commandment. So the commandment keepers is the ones that actually gets the understanding. And the Most High got the children of Israel being content to keep off that commandment. Those that don't understand, if you over there sitting there some sideline right now, hearing this, talking about, oh man, well, whatever, they saying what I'm saying, you probably need to go check to see if you actually are breaking all the law, statutes, and commandments. Because this right here is plain and simple, man. Maranatha.